Do you like a Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you'd love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like pit bulls, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast.
Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative. Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative. You're a little over.
TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
This season of the Urban Conservative podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the show. My name is Addul Ali, and thank you so much for being a part of Top of the Morning here on Millennium TV and on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live. We really appreciate all the love. As always, jump in and let us know where you're watching from. Get in the comment section so we can give you a shout out. And look, man, at the start of today's coffee show, just first and foremost, we're out our Reese's peanut butter cup mug this morning. So get yourself a cup of coffee and get all locked in with us, because we're gonna keep it all fun and lighthearted around here. But we got some serious stuff that we're gonna cover. Before we get into today's news, I gotta give a really, really big shout out to each and every person that wished my brother and I and my son Dre, who happens to share the same birthday as us, a very happy birthday. 44 is a little bit more than we thought we would make given the circumstances, but super happy to be 44. And thank you again for all the birthday love, the shout outs, the Facebooks, the text messages, and all that good, fun stuff. Today is December the 29th, 2022. Joe Biden is still the worst president in U.S. history. And again, thank you so much for being part of Top of the Morning. We've got some interesting things. Oh, buddy. Now, I'm just going to start out here. Okay? I'm going to start out here. I don't like, what's that stuff, the cakey's tofu? Like, I'm not a tofu guy. Okay? The texture of tofu sounds a little weird, right? I don't like the soy nuggets, like soy. I'm not a big fan of that. Now, I can do an Impossible Burger because that's plant-based, and I'm cool with that. I know what plants are. I know what quinoa is. I know what peas are. I can deal with that, okay? I can deal with mashed up plants made to look like a burger, but what I find absolutely atrocious is this idea of growing chicken in a lab. It's exactly what's happening, folks. Is people want, and it's coming to North Carolina, folks. Chicken grown in a lab is coming to North Carolina. Now, as you look at this tasty morsel of a chicken salad or whatever that is that you got going on, a company that grows its meat in a lab, instead of in barns, is looking to Eastern North Carolina for the location of its first commercial scale facility. Believer Meats is investing $123 million plus to build a manufacturing facility in Wilson Corporate Park that, when complete, will employ about 100 people, with Believer targeting the production of about 22 million pounds of meat a year. Yeah, folks, lab chicken. I'm gonna need to know if y'all are down with the lab chicken. You're probably eating some of it already if you're eating at some of these fast food places. But honestly, lab chicken? I mean, are they going to have to tell us that this is lab chicken? I mean, does it have, if you can make something that tastes like chicken and everything tastes like chicken, then what? Are we in the Matrix? Is that it? I mean, lab chicken? This is what they talk about. Lab grown chicken meat. Yaakov Nemayas is an Israeli professor who founded the company as Future Meat Technologies back in 2018. In November of 22, the company changed its name to the more marketable Believer Meats. The company operates a pilot plant in Rehovot, Israel, and was looking for somewhere to scale up production. The announcement comes less than a month after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration made Upside Foods the first company to receive key regulatory approvals for its lab-grown chicken product. Upside still needs approval from the U.S. Department of Agriculture before it can go to the market, and Believers Meats is working towards those approvals as well. North Carolina Commerce Secretary Michelle Baker Sanders said in a written statement that North Carolina's leadership in agribusiness and biotechnology, combined with the largest and most diverse manufacturing workforce in the southeastern United States, will help the company meet the future food demands of a growing global population. The average wage at the Wilson facility will be $60,087, according to the announcement from the governor's office, and the project will receive a $500,000 grant from the One North Carolina Fund, although Believer Meats must hit its capital investment and job targets to receive the payout. Now, here's my problem with this, folks. Again, I'm cool with the veggie burger, all right? I'm cool with pea protein. I know some of them are like a plant fungus. I'm cool with that because I know what that is. But if it's in a lab, bro, what is this? Does that even qualify technically as meat? Because, like, no, it's can you imagine going to there's real chicken and there's lab chicken and you can't tell the difference? That's spooky. If y'all are watching this, North Carolina representatives, please do something about this. I don't know that lab chicken is the thing that we need to be doing. We got some more news on the back end of this break. Y'all don't go nowhere. Share the content, grab a cup of coffee. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. Don't go nowhere.
TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at TUCONSERVATIVE.com.
All right, folks, welcome back to Top of the Morning. I'm your host, Addul Ali. I really appreciate y'all being here. Before we jump into our next story, I want to introduce a brand new section of the show called In the Know. Today, you're going to be learning about our Speaker of the House here in North Carolina, Speaker Tim Moore. So y'all take a look at this. We'll be right back.
was born on October 2nd, 1970, in Kings Mountain, North Carolina, in the western part of the state. As a teenager, Moore worked at the State General Assembly as a page, later interning for state senator. Moore first attended Campbell College, where he joined the college Republicans. After 2 years, he transferred to University of North Carolina, where he completed a BA in 1992. He was active in the student government at both colleges. He took a fight to the UNC Student Supreme Court in an effort to add more members to the Student Congress. In 1995, Moore graduated from the Oklahoma City University School of Law. In 1995, Moore joined a law firm in the Cleveland County, North Carolina town of Shelby. He opened his own law practice in Kings Mountain in 2009, representing business and individual clients. In 2015, Moore was hired by the Cleveland County Commission as an attorney for the county, serving in this role simultaneously with his position as Speaker of the State House. Moore co-owns 67 Motors, a Forsyth County metal recycling business. When Moore was 26, he was elected chair of the Cleveland County Republican Party in 1997. That same year, he was also appointed to the UNC Board of Governors. He was the youngest person to be appointed to that position. Tim Moore is currently serving his 4th term as the presiding officer of the North Carolina House of Representatives. Tim is the longest-serving Republican House Speaker in North Carolina history.
All right, folks, that's our new segment here on Top of the Morning called In the Know, so you get to know about your elected representatives. And this morning, big shout out to Speaker Tim Moore. We really appreciate him and all that he does here for us in the state of North Carolina. Now, this morning, as you can see, I got on some fly gear this morning. I got on some pretty fresh stuff. I want to give a big shout out to my friends over at the Marketplace Restaurant. Now, look, guys. I will drive 2 hours away to go get one of these Southern Reubens. If you have not been to the Marketplace Restaurant, I'm telling you, you need to get out to the Marketplace Restaurant. Shouts out to Luke and the whole team out there at the Marketplace Restaurant. We really appreciate what you guys do, and we got some events coming up. They're going to be catering for us, so if you need your catering, hit up the Marketplace Restaurant. And I think they're doing delivery now, which is even better for the folks in Moore County. So shouts out to the Marketplace Restaurant and all that good stuff. We got another interesting story, and look, tomorrow morning, you are not going to want to miss our special guest. We have Representative John Hardister, who is going to be joining us right here on Top of the Morning. We're going to be talking about his legislative accomplishments, what he sees for the future, and we're going to be talking about this right here, which is an important thing. If you don't know what's happening, the federal government has put a ban on government on TikTok on government devices. So here we have our good friend, Representative John Hardister and Representative Jason Sane calling for Roy Cooper to do the same thing. And the letter reads, today Rep. Sane and Hardister issued a joint letter to Cooper urging his office to issue an executive order to ban TikTok from all government devices. This is the letter to the Honorable Governor Roy Cooper, and I'm going to use the word honorable loosely. I don't know how honorable that guy is, but okay, I guess that's the title you get when you're the governor. We respectfully urge your administration to issue an executive order that bans TikTok from all government devices in North Carolina. This is a matter of national security, and it is imperative that swift action be taken swiftly and decisively. As we know, the Chinese government is constantly working to infiltrate our communications and access intellectual data within the United States. If sensitive data is breached, it could both pose an economic and security threat for North Carolina. We have a responsibility to prevent this from happening, which is why we are urging an executive order to be issued as soon as possible. Several other states have taken this action, and we recently learned that the Chief Administration Officer of the United States Congress banned TikTok from devices that are used by staff on Capitol Hill. It is time for North Carolina to follow suit and do what is necessary to promote state and national security. If there is no executive order, we will work swiftly in the upcoming 2023 legislative session to advance legislation to ban TikTok on all government-issued devices in North Carolina. However, it is our hope that your office will take swift and immediate action to address this matter in the interest of enhancing our domestic security and protecting our citizens. Thank you so very much for your time and consideration. Please feel free to contact us if you wish to discuss this further. And I have a feeling Roy Cooper ain't gonna be calling Representative Shane. He ain't gonna be calling a Representative Hardister. Heck, Roy Cooper don't really want to work with no Republicans as it is. But I applaud them for taking that step. And I've got some questions like, why have him issue an executive order instead of pushing a law, a faster law? So we're going to be talking to Representative Hardister tomorrow morning, right here on Top of the Morning here on the Urban Conservative and Millennium TV 24. So you don't want to miss that. I mean, and honestly, I got a point here. Why are you on TikTok if you're at work anyway? Can somebody explain that to me? Why you would be on TikTok if you're supposed to be at work? I mean, I wish I had a job where they could pay me to sit around and look at little TikTok videos. I mean, this should have been a no-brainer, honestly. So we're going to take a very quick commercial break here on Top of the Morning. We'll be right back with our last couple of stories of the day. Don't go nowhere. Get your cup of coffee. Come on back to Top of the Morning.
This season of the Urban Conservative podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning. I'm your host, Addul Ali. I appreciate you for being here and hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. Got yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is you do in the morning. This morning we've got an official coffee blend from our good folks over at French Express. So shouts out to Ryan French and the whole team over there. One thing we wanted to cover this morning, we got two more subjects we're going to cover this morning. The first one, we've been talking to you and you hear across all the media about how important it is that our southern border get protected of all the fentanyl and all the drugs and the human trafficking and the impact that it's having on the people that live down near the border and even some folks who are as far as 50, 60 miles away. Yesterday we had showed a lady who was saying she lives 60 miles from the border. People are trying to break into her home, break into her garage, killing their animals, breaking their fences and things like that. And here's the interesting part, right? You go to some of the richest leftist people in the world, right? Like Barack Obama, let's just use for example. Do you think Barack Obama has any fences or walls around his property to keep people out? Do you think, I don't know, Joy Behar from The View lives in a fenced and walled in community? Do you think Bill Gates has maybe, I don't know, some sort of security cameras, fences, or walls to keep people he doesn't want in his property out of his property? We know some fairly well-to-do folks. They all have fences and walls around their property. So it's apparent that fences, walls, and those sort of things work, especially in consideration of the border. So here you see that there's some finishment. The migrant crossings are plummeting as Texas Guard expands a barbed wire fence. And a mile-long stretch of downtown El Paso where the Texas Army National Guard has set up concertina wire and portable fencing along the Rio Grande is what you're looking at. They began setting up that barrier last week at a gap in the border wall west of the El Paso del Norte port of entry. In the space of 8 days, the barbed wire has nearly reached a second port of entry and a chain link fence anchored by sandbags that extends it even further. The result is that the asylum seekers can no longer walk across the ankle-deep water in the Rio Grande and turn themselves into Border Patrol agents in that area. The difference is vast, said First Sergeant Suzanne Ringel. The 19th, 20th, and 21st, we had large groups of families and individuals who were wanting to come across. Now it's almost a ghost town out there. She attributed that to the visual deterrent of the barbed wire, Parked Humvees and soldiers patrolling the area with semi-automatic rifles. Y'all could have just said rifles. Why does the left always got to do that? All guns are semi-automatic, dummies. Most guns are semi-automatic, dummies. But the point that I'm trying to get at here, folks, the point that we're trying to make is that borders work, walls work. They're seeing this work. Why are we sending billions with a B of dollars, right, over to Ukraine, but we don't got $5 billion to finish the wall to protect our southern border? It is becoming more and more apparent. If you don't know, the left could care less. And I'm not talking about your average normie person, Democrat, who's, is oblivious. I'm talking about the people in power, the people who are making decisions. It has become abundantly clear that they don't care. Well, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is doing an amazing job. He's starting to send these migrants, air finger quote, migrants, to the sanctuary cities who are now complaining. And speaking of complaining, how come we aren't hearing as much ruckus about Joe Biden going on vacation to the Virgin Islands or the St. Croix? Same thing that we had. Trump is on vacation. He's on vacation. The same thing they beefed at Ted Cruz about. Nobody's beefing that Mayor Eric Adams while his city is being inundated with illegal immigrants, while the crime is higher than it's ever been. While our southern border is being basically invaded, the president takes a vacation. That's unheard of. But wonder why CNN and MSNBC and all of these, folks on the left aren't screaming bloody murder about them being on vacation. Well, good on you, folks, for getting those walls and those barriers up. It is going to make a difference. As they said, the border control agents are saying, basically, that's helping. It's getting those numbers of people, just waiting across the water. I've got an idea. And just hear me out, folks. Instead of building a wall, right? Why don't we make that moat, that water, why don't we make it deeper? Why don't we just dig it deeper? Why don't we put some alligators in there? Maybe source some piranhas, right? And then make a game show out of it, right? If you survive, you get to come across. I don't know. I'm just joking. I'm kidding. Please don't go out there and say Addul said, let's turn the border into a survival game show. I was joking. We got one more story we're going to cover here on Top of the Morning. Y'all don't go nowhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back here on Top of the Morning. We'll be right back.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at TUCONSERVATIVE.com.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning. I'm your host, Addul Ali, and thank you so much for watching on Millennium TV 24. You're also watching live on Facebook and Instagram. If you haven't done so already, please show us some love by going on over to TUCONSERVATIVE.com. Get yourself a Hamilton plan so that you can get behind-the-scenes content. You'll get the heads up to when we're doing live events in the city near you. And on top of all that wonderful stuff, you get a perfectly curated news feed and access to our blog. So again, jump on over to TUCONSERVATIVE.com, get yourself a membership. And thanks for watching on your Apple TV, your Amazon Smart TV, your Roku TV, and your Samsung TV. We really appreciate that. And again, jump in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Today's final story. Now, look. We all expect that politicians in majority of we want them to be honest, but let's be honest. We know that there's a lot of, I'll use the word embellishment that occurs in politics. We understand that. And right now there's an attack on a young man that has just become a congressman-elect up in New York. However, it seems to me that while the leftist media, CNN, MSNBC, all those folks are trying to drag George Santos up in New York, they've seemingly forgotten about how many lies the sitting president of the United States has told. And folks, I have for you here Joe Biden's top 15 lies. Y'all ready? Here we go. Lie number one. The law school grades. Biden claimed in 1987 that he graduated in the top half of his class at Syracuse College of Law. He was 76th in a class of 85. He was 76 out of 85, right? That's a lie. Saying he graduated top half of his class. Second big lie. Biden falsely claimed in 2022, this year, he was arrested for trying to see Nelson Mandela in South Africa. The Washington Post, of all people, called it out and said the claim was false. He lied about his first job. In 2021, Biden claimed in Idaho his first job offer was from a local lumber and wood product business, Boise Cascade. The company said there is no record of Biden's claim at all. That's a lie. Number 4, visiting a synagogue. Biden claimed in 2021 he visited Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue, where 11 people were murdered in 2018. Biden did speak to the Tree of Life rabbi. However, he never visited the synagogue. That was a lie. Unemployment numbers. Biden claimed in 2022 employment was the lowest in 50 years, down from 6.5% to 3.5%. Biden's claim is false. The unemployment rate was 3.5% under his predecessor. Yes. Orange man, low job. Yes. Biden claimed he visited Afghanistan in 2022. He said he visited Afghanistan and Iraq twice as president. The New York Post marked that as a false claim. He said of his Naval Academy appointment, he claimed in 22 he was appointed to the Naval Academy in 1965 by the late Senator J. Caleb Boggs, a Republican out of Delaware. The search of Boggs' records failed to produce evidence to support Biden's claim. Yeah, he's a liar. Even better, here goes. He says his son Bo died in Iraq. He falsely claimed twice that his late son Bo died in Iraq, and he died actually at a Maryland hospital. Never spoken to Hunter about family business. That's a big lie. Joe falsely claimed in 2019 he never discussed business deals with Hunter. But when Joe left a voicemail in 2018 about a business deal with Giant Energy, CEFC, directly contradicting his own statement. Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just wanted to talk to you. I thought the article released online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think you're clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you. That's him talking to his son about it. Said he's visited 54 states. Yep, there's only 50 states in the United States, folks. Said passed student loan legislation. Okay, Biden falsely claimed in 22 he passed student loan forgiveness, but no student loan legislation has been passed through Congress. This guy's a dummy. Biden claimed in 22 he sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home politically, but Biden told the BBC he is Irish. Media reports suggest Biden is 5/8 Irish, stemming from 2 Irish families. Okay? 13, gas prices. He falsely claimed the gas is down from over $5 when I took office. The day before Donald Trump left in office, the national gas price, $2.38. Biden traveling 17,000 miles. He claimed in 2021 he traveled 17,000 miles with President Xi Jinping. The Washington Post said false. And the last big lie. He claimed in 2022 that inflation was only temporary. Okay? He claimed that inflation was temporary. Does this feel temporary to y'all? Does the cost of coffee and eggs and butter and, God forbid, lab chicken meat feel like it's getting any lower to you guys? Does it feel that way? Because it doesn't feel that way to us. I went shopping yesterday. I got 3 days worth of food. It cost about $130. That's right. So, folks, your president, if you voted for this guy, is an absolute liar. I think it's very, very telling about how much they're going after one young guy up in New York, but they're failing to cover the lies of Joe Biden. This is the mainstream media. If George Santos has to step down, if they want George Santos to step down, I hope Republicans push equally as hard for Elizabeth Warren to step down. And that other congressman who said he was a Navy SEAL that never was a Navy SEAL, or any other congressman that it's been found out has embellished their resumes or done something like that. If it's good for one, it's good for everybody. But if the lies start at the top, the one thing you can't say about Donald Trump is he was a liar. The man said he was real about what his businesses were. He said, there's certain things that's happening. So look, folks, Joe Biden, biggest liar in the White House ever. 15 lies, we just broke them down for you. So again, tomorrow morning, right here, you are not going to want to miss Top of the Morning. Tomorrow, we have Representative John Hardister, who is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about this North Carolina TikTok ban letter that they sent over to Governor Roy Cooper. We're going to be talking about the upcoming legislative session that the General Assembly has going on. We're going to get to know John Hardister a little bit so that you can get to know your elected representatives. So we want you back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Top of the Morning with me, Addul Ali. We will see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Make sure you jump on over to TUCONSERVATIVE.com, support the platform. Thanks for watching on Millennium TV. My name is Addul Ali. Top of the morning to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at TUCONSERVATIVE.com.